Picture this, you've had a long day at school and now you get to come home and have the most romanticized and perfect night routine that works for you because you created it. In yesterday's video, I made an entire video talking about how to create the perfect school morning routine for you. And today it is the night routine video. So here it is, how to create the perfect school night routine for 2025. This also applies for work, uni, college, or just in general, an autumnal night routine. The number one and first thing you need to do is plan out what you have going on after work or school or whatever you have going on that day. For example, if you're going out with friends or you have plans or if you have work to do or if you're going out for dinner, anything like that, you have to create your night routine around this. You have to understand that night routines and morning routines, basically any routines, are going to have to be altered for certain days because we have different plans, we're human beings and we are spontaneous. When you write out a to-do list for the next day, it's important to take these things into account. So check what you're doing. If you have any plans, create your night routine around this. Number 2 is romanticize your journey home. Everyone's journey home from school or work looks different, but romanticizing it can be done in pretty much the same way. Listening to music is one of the easiest ways to romanticize any journey. Taking the more scenic route, whether you're walking back from somewhere or you're cycling home from work. If there is a safe, more scenic route, take that and listen to music. And then doing cute things after school, like going to a cafe or going to the library, going to get a drink, going to get a pastry or a sweet treat. You can really utilize and use this time, your journey home, and make it as aesthetically pleasing for you as possible. So curate a bunch of things that you would like to do on your journey home. It can literally just be like listening to music in the car on the way home. Or if you wanted to, you could go and study in a cafe for 5 minutes. This whole romanticizing your journey home section is once again completely up to you. Number 3 is home. The first thing I recommend you do when you get home is tidy up your space. If you didn't tidy it in the morning, then tidy it in the evening. This clears your head and it will ensure that you have a nice clean space if you have any work to do. Have something to eat and drink. If you didn't go out for food, if you haven't eaten since lunch, have something to eat. It can be a quick snack before dinner. Just get something to keep you going for the evening. Unpack your bag and organize literally everything in it. If you have a bunch of notes, if you've taken notes, if you have a bunch of stationery that you kind of just chucked in your bag in the day, unpack everything and organize it. Set the mood in your space. Wherever you're going to be spending the predominant amount of time for your evening, whether it's the bedroom, the living room, set the space, set the mood, light some candles, spray some room spray. And then get comfortable, change into comfy clothes. I don't know about anyone else, but there is nothing worse than coming home and staying in like the clothes that you've worn in the day. Get into a comfy pair of like sweatpants or something. To romanticize this, I'd recommend a cute little matching set, just whatever is comfy and works for you though. Number 4, and the next portion of your evening will be homework or studying. If you're in school, then I know some people get homework daily or have studying to do daily. Now, I would recommend, if you are studying for a prolonged amount of time that evening, to get the most important work done first. Have your little setup ready, get your stationery, your books, your candles lit, a comfy area, a snack and drink at hand, and work on the most hardest tasks and the most important tasks first. Now, when you do this, it basically gets rid of the hardest things and the things that you're most likely to worry about first, and you do all of these important tasks first, and then in the end of the, middle of the evening, you think to yourself, wait, I've done the hardest stuff first, I can kind of relax now. As silly as it sounds, studying can be one of the most loveliest parts of your evening because you can do it at your pace. If you have a deadline, then obviously working hard is so important, but you can set the scene, you can set the mood, go at a pace that works for you, make sure it's nice and quiet, you can listen to whatever music you want to, rain sounds are really good for concentrating. Make your studying, especially because it's going to be autumn, make it as much of an enjoyable experience as you possibly can. If you have to, look at these pictures for inspiration. See what you like about these photos. There's candles there, there's stacks of books, they have a pretty setup going on, their handwriting is neat. Anything to make it as more enjoyable as it really is, basically. For however long you're working, even if you're working for an hour, I recommend taking breaks. And just do what you can. Don't leave everything till the last minute either. Procrastination is something that I know everyone, including me, deals with, but if you have a specific time set in the evening to work, you don't want to be piled up with a bunch of tasks and think, oh my god, my whole evening is going to be spent with me working. This new school or work year, really make this the year where you're going to get your work done and then never have to think about it anymore. Just get it done. Do your work then and there, and then you have the rest of the evening to relax and have you time, because that is what your evening routine should be. You've been at school or you've been at work, socializing all day, have you time. And speaking of you time, number 5 is you time. Now, this is the portion and section of your evening where you basically have time to do whatever you want. If you enjoy exercising or even just going on a walk, prioritize that. If you have hobbies that you partake in, prioritize this time for doing those. This is the section of the evening where you get to do things that you enjoy that you probably haven't had time to do all day because you've been doing things. This part is so individual. Everyone's free time is up to them. Do whatever you enjoy. Something I recommend that is something that makes you happy, calms you down, is going to relax you for the evening. Nothing too stressful. I would 100% recommend for everyone though, going on a walk is so crucial. Even if you don't work out, if that's not your thing, if you're not a gym person, if you don't exercise, going on a walk, a mindful walk, you can even take your headphones, you can go on a colour walk, a foliage walk if you want to collect full foliage. Romanticize this however you want. There are so many ways that you can romanticize evening walks. This is also the time of the evening where I would recommend doing a kind of little Pinterest scroll. If you want to check your socials, I recommend you do it then and there. But Pinterest is such a great winding down activity, and you're also getting inspiration at the same time. An evening Pinterest scroll is one of my favourite things ever. Number 6, and the 6th portion of your evening, is going to be dinner and fueling yourself eating. I just want to make it clear that you can make dinner the most romantic dinner for one ever. You don't have to spend absolutely ages creating the most extravagant dinner ever, but even if it's takeout that you end up getting, this is still your time. So light some candles, set the scene, get comfy, get a show if that's your thing. I know a lot of people have to watch something when they're eating. Because we're going into the autumnal months soon, I recommend this is something that's quite heartwarming, a really hearty dinner that's going to keep you full and cozy from the inside out. Have a cozy, heartwarming, fulfilling dinner that's going to keep you energized and is going to be a nice end to the day. And then the 7th and final step is going to be your self-care evening and night routine, going to bed. The first thing I recommend you do is come off your phone as early as possible. I know some people are literally addicted to their phone and it's the last thing they look at, basically. Will look at a screen the second before they go to sleep. This is so unhealthy, and I know I sound so boring, but looking at that light is literally going to keep your brain awake even when you are asleep. Your brain is going to be doing 1,000,001 things even as your eyes are shut, so come off your phone as early in the evening as possible. Write your to-do list for the next day. If you do want to do this on your phone, do it on your notes app, then turn your phone off or do it on a piece of paper. That's what I recommend doing. Have it with you on your desk so that when you wake up in the morning, you can see your to-do list for the next day and see what you've got to get done that day. Pick out and lay out your outfit the night before. This saves so much time. I do this every single day. Just spend, even however long you spend picking an outfit, I spend ages, but just spend 5-10 minutes of your evening choosing your outfit for the next day. You don't even have to think about it when you wake up in the morning. It's just there, laid out, ready. Do a 5-minute tidy. Give your room or your space a once over tidy. Make sure all your work is done, just double check things, and then pack your bag for the next day. Whether you pack your snacks, fill up your water bottle, do whatever you need to do to get your bag, your outfit, anything ready, lay any makeup out, get everything you need to be ready basically for the next day, ready the night before. So you just wake up and you don't even have to think. It's just laid out, it's there, it is ready for you. Then here is the portion of the night where I recommend you do your shower, your skincare, whatever you do to pamper yourself. If you want to do heatless curls, now's your time to do those. And then change into a pair of clean, cute, cozy pajamas. I mentioned these yesterday in my previous video. Seriously, a cozy pair of autumn or winter pajamas changes the whole vibe. It's going to make you excited to go to bed. Are you kidding? Slippers, fuzzy socks, the whole works, whatever makes you feel cozy and cute. But pajamas are a huge aspect. You can get so many cute ones. You can get matching sets. You can even, if this is your thing, have a nightgown. Whatever is going to be your pajamas of choice, change into those. Make yourself a hot drink. This can be a honey and lemon, a hot chocolate, just something warm and cozy. You can put it in a cute mug, bonus points if it's like an autumnal one. Watch a cozy episode or movie, but like an episode of something, whether it's Gilmore Girls, Pretty Little Liars, just something that's autumnal, cozy, and is going to kind of get you in that vibe and that mindset. Now is your time for like your nighttime dopamine menu. And what I mean by this is whether journaling or writing in a diary is your thing, meditating, stretching or yoga. There are so many lovely things that you can do in the evening. I'm trying to list off the ones that I've kind of seen on many night routine videos and posts on Pinterest. And then set your alarm. I recommend doing this earlier before you kind of come off your phone, full stop. Get into bed, make sure you're warm and cozy and read. I really recommend reading straight before bed, something lighthearted and cozy, nothing maybe too intense, just something that's going to relax your mind and send you into like a nice mode of sleep. And then go to sleep, of course, but go to bed early and try and go to bed at the same time every single night. Setting your circadian rhythm is a really difficult thing. I think people overlook actually how hard it is for most people to attain and keep up, because so many of us have different lives and schedules and things that come in the way of setting a good night routine in place. So when people turn around very lightheartedly and say, just go to bed at the same time every night, it's really hard for many people to do so. And I know that some people's sleep schedules are crazy. So going to bed every single night, as hard as it is so important and so worth it. When you set your circadian rhythm and you start naturally waking up early and naturally going to sleep early, it's one of the best things you can do for your body and yourself. That is all in all how I would build the perfect work, school, uni, everyday night routine going into autumn, going into the academic season. But here are some more tips and tricks, just kind of little lighthearted things that I think you can add to help romanticize it even more. The number one thing I'm going to mention again is just listening to music all the time. This doesn't even have to be music. I mean, it can be rain sounds, it can be classical music, it could be a podcast, whatever you want to listen to. Having something on in the background when you're doing whatever, tidying, making dinner, working, something that is cozy and is going to kind of set your brain into like the evening mode. A lot of people also like to create a nighttime playlist. I have one of these, and it's basically just a bunch of songs that you associate with the evening and relaxing and that kind of time of the day. Lighting candles and warm lighting. I once again mentioned this in my morning routine, and that is because when you are in these times of the day, these early hours of the morning or late hours of the night, lighting candles and having warm lighting is so important because it sends these signals to our brain, and we are going to relax. We're going to associate candles with this time of the day, with relaxing, with working, whatever it is, whenever it is you light your candles. And you can get some beautiful ones, some great ones for the upcoming Halloween-y autumn season. If you are going to watch an episode of something or a movie, make sure it's lighthearted. I know we've got spooky season coming up and horror is all the rage, but probably don't watch that straight before you go to bed. I don't know, maybe this is such a ridiculous tip, but if I'm going to sleep, want to watch something like Gilmore Girls or something really cozy. I have certain YouTubers that I just find so comforting. So just make sure that the material you are watching before you go to sleep is something that's lighthearted and something that just makes you feel cozy inside. Limit your screen time. I know if you've been at work all day and you haven't had, or school, and you haven't had the chance to go on your phone, it's going to be the one thing you want to do. But I'm not saying don't do that. Set aside a time, however long you want, to have your scroll time, to have your phone time, but then come off of it. Like, the real world is in front of you, and your evening is going to be so much more relaxed when you are not doom scrolling. And this leads on to my next point of don't look at the screen before you go to sleep, because it's just going to keep you awake. Stay hydrated. I always say this. I said this in my morning routine, to just chug ice cold water no matter the weather. But when you get home from school or work, fill up your water bottle with water and just chug it. Just keep hydrated. It's going to give you energy. It's so good for you. And my final tip for the night routine, the morning routine, any of these back to school autumnal routines that you are going to set in place is just that consistency is key. And no one is perfect, and try as best as you can not to beat yourself up if this doesn't work out for the first, 10 times you try and do your routine. This is such a thing that takes practice, and getting into the perfect routine is kind of contradictory of itself, because there is no perfect routine. Like I say with all of these videos I do, you have to curate it yourself, and you have to do things that you know are going to work for you. Some people might want to journal 10 pages, and then some people might think there's absolutely nothing more boring than that in the evening. So you have to do things that are going to work for you, but please keep in mind to do things that you know are going to be healthy and beneficial for you. And just consistency is key. Keep at it. It doesn't matter if it takes you till December to perfect the night routine. These are just some tips and tricks, and hopefully I've given you some good advice to kind of build your routine going forward into the new school year.